You may not want to be happy. I didn't. I can tell you that. I can be completely honest. I did not want to be happy. See, because being happy and becoming your authentic self are exactly the same thing. Every single person is born exactly who they're supposed to be, but we only discover that as we live our lives. And we come in with blockages, however, that could prevent us from recognizing that and then owning it so that we can be happy. Because God gave you something that if you were to embrace it and own it, then you would be happy, and then you would also be successful because you'd be so joyful that you would be doing what you were meant to do in your life, and everything would flow to you. And I can talk about this because, see, I didn't do that for years and years and years because my thing was so different. We are all supposed to be unique as well, and that's the major problem because we can't accept our uniqueness. How else would the world evolve unless you came in to offer something new? When you think about that, it's just science. Every single person has something that they're meant to offer. But when we don't do that, then we start to live our lives that are really unfulfilling. We keep making mistakes. We keep going in the wrong places. We have the wrong relationships. We're broke. All of those things happen because we are not willing to embrace who we are. Now, there are many reasons that goes on. Most of them are because of what you've been taught or what you've been programmed to believe. And some of it is generational, which is what's happening in our world right now. We're moving through this huge generational change, and everyone wants to be right, and we're going to have a lot of chaos. And so you not knowing who you are is going to be a bit of a problem, because also we create our lives and the world the same way, energetically. And we only have two emotions that we use to do that. We're going to either use love or fear. If we're in fear, then we're not accepting who we are because we have lost the connection to our eternal nature, our unlimited potential and abilities. We've just lost sight of that. And if we're in love, we are accepting who we are, and then everything starts to flow. The energy of our lives begin to flow in an entirely new way when we do that. And then the more of us who do that, then we start to create a better world, you see, because we all create the world. It's not one person, it's not one leader, it's energetically, and we each do it with our lives. So if we can't accept who we are, that means we're living in fear. And that's what we're adding to the world. So collectively, then we have a world that's filled with fear, and we create more wars because we don't know where things are going. That's what happens. When I discovered that I had this work to bring into the world, I couldn't accept that. I had to keep testing it. I know a lot of people create things, you have to figure out what that is. But my life was different. I discovered that I was a mystic and a sage, and that's why I could access this information. It's cosmic information. I created something different than most other people because I lived it all. I worked through all of the lower vibrational things that were going on in my being, in my consciousness, and in my life so that I could affect healing. And it was also embarrassing. I said, I can't tell people I'm doing this. For 20 years, I hid what I was doing because I walked through most things that most people would find unbelievable, impossible. I mean, that's what they all said to me. But when you understand everything is consciousness, everything. But typically, we don't accept that right away. And I know that because that's what I had to do. I worked at this every single day for 35 years. I would sit down and receive information and start to embody it into my life. It would change my consciousness. That's why I talk about mindset so much, because there's nothing more important than that. You can't change anything unless you're willing to embrace your mindset and see where it's limiting you because you're believing something that wasn't true. And then you have to change that and start to implement it and then live it in your life so it becomes assimilated. That's how we evolve. That's how we evolve as individuals, and that's how we evolve as the world. And what you're seeing now is this huge division that's going on, and it's going to go on for at least another year because the world is changing. You can study the science of this to see that it is occurring. But how do you make a difference? The way that you make a difference is by deciding to become happy, successful, prosperous, and in love with yourself. Think about that. That's the energy that you could put into the world. And now I'm so thrilled because that's all I'm doing. I'm becoming my authentic self, finally, because I've healed everything else, you see. And so now I have to do more because the world needs the work that I have. And that might sound a little crazy to some of you, but I know that that's true because I've already proven it. You can hear people who have moved through things in their lives that they were never able to do before. And it was because I downloaded a philosophy called Your Life Operating Instructions, which is for our new world. See, we're trying to create a new world, and we can only do that when we become willing to let go of what was old within us and what was old within our generation, our lineage, and then embrace something new, and that is within you. It's always within the individual. There's no person born that has more ability, talent, skill than another. It just doesn't happen. And so, but it becomes this moment by moment, day by day acceptance of who you are. And that's exactly what I had to do. And I know that that's what works for everyone, which is why I created my work in the same way and why I brought in other people to help me, because I can't do it by myself. None of us are meant to do that. We're supposed to collaborate and come together. This period in our world is about healing. It's about coming together. But that only happens when you can decide that you want to be happy, and you're going to do that by embracing your authentic self, the gifts that God gave you, and you're going to bring that to the world. And I'm going to work with those people who want to do that, and then we'll have a very different world than what we're seeing now.
I haven't done anything like this.
It's increased the confidence that I had in myself.
Everything is better. I mean, every single aspect of my life. My income, the progress is just amazing. Like, you can see changes from week to week.
Introducing your last development program, Life Transformation for Success, the newest part of Roger Burnley's coaching series. In this 3-month online program, you will learn the mindset tools you need to dissolve the shame of your past, discover the gifts within you that make you important to the world, and get the confidence to rise above anything that stands between you and the life that you want.
Everything changed in my life. Everything. Every single thing.
It's time for you to reprogram your mind for success and become self-actualized. If you're ready to transform your life too, learn more at yourlastdevelopmentprogram.com today.